Hey folks, welcome in. Why is it doing game recording? That was weird. Okay. Yeah, welcome in folks. I'm on late and I'm probably not going to be on long, but I figured at least make an appearance. Yeah, I've got stuff to finish up later tonight. So I'm going to probably go for maybe an hour. The weather's terrible. "28 days. Looking for far starting, still not 3. I guess we can do this. Oops.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Did we start off on an odd foot? I don't know. Maybe. I started late. I was out of the room when the camera switched over. Pushing wrong buttons? Yeah, I think so. I think I must have hit the wrong button when I sat down. I can ditch this. I mean, we could just rush back to the dam and see if anything has finished curing. I don't think anything will finish curing. Anyways, it's been a busy day.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Up early. No, actually, I wasn't up early. I slept in this morning. It was good. Really good. And I just ran a bunch of errands and shopping trips with my roommate. It felt like a long weekend, honestly. And it kind of was. I was mostly done with work by Friday morning. And they had just gotten back from a conference on Thursday night, so didn't have any lab work on Friday. So yeah, it was kind of a long weekend.
Jesus, this is cold.
Taking a while. Still got more water here though. These are all done. Oops.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
I'm not going to spend 9 hours here. Come back for more tomorrow, but as it is, it's a pretty good start. At least it's with how many arrows? 8 shafts, 7 arrows. Just need to get our bow.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Who's over here? Is this the wolf? Oh, this might be the wolf. The guy across the line, that would be very annoying. Oh, here he is.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
So yeah, we did a bunch of things today. We bought plants, house plants, when we first moved in last year, and those plants did not survive the winter. So we decided we'd buy new plants today. So we did that, and then we, what else did we? Went to Value Village thrift store, did that. Hunting for a few kitchen items. Just always things that you realize would be real useful to have, but you don't want to spend full money on. Like, for instance, I don't have, or up until today, we didn't have a pie server, like a little, like the little spatula you use for serving, pie stuff. So, like, I had bought like a chicken pot pie the other day from Costco, and it was just a hassle to get like the pie slices out. And so I was like, next time we're at the thrift store, we'll look for one. So yeah, I found that. And what else was there? The skillet that I have been using, I have been abusing. The nonstick surface is pretty beat up. And so it's like, I should invest in a nicer, like, stainless steel skillet. Because you don't have to worry about the surface. You can just keep it clean if you treat it well. So, did that. Found one for $20. And then cleaned it up as well. Then I've been going on this ongoing search for like a nice light jacket alternate for, I pretty much have just like a rainproof jacket, and then kind of like a lightweight sweater jacket, I guess, kind of. And then I wanted something else that was lightweight but a different color. So I didn't have to wear, like, the rain jacket doesn't breathe very well. I mean, it's waterproof. That's the point. But so I found something, but it was heavier than I was looking for. But it did look nice, so I ended up investing in that. Well, and then we were like, you know what? Might as well do some grocery shopping. So we went and did grocery shopping. And then got back from that. And then it was a little later on in the afternoon, we decided I was like planning to go out for a walk, and it was like, you know what, why don't we walk down to the Asian market as well? So we went and did that. Yep. Full day. From the crusted, no. It wasn't that bad. I had, I don't know. I used a fork to get it out.
I need to find...
It's definitely a first world problem, You're just like looking for a specific tool to handle a specific situation that really only happens a few times.
God, I'd eat anything right about now.
Because I'm not buying chicken pot pie constantly. It's just like maybe every few months I'll have a craving, and I should have slept for the last little bit. Yeah, we're still looking for a firestriker. Would be nice.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay. I'm gonna run this over to the other side. Yeah, I'll survive without the firestriker. It would be nice, but don't have it right now. But a bedroll would be extremely helpful. We joke about how many runs I end up going long periods of time before getting a bedroll, but it doesn't mean I want to go without a bedroll. Just been unlucky. No, I guess hydrate then.
Starting to
Good to
feel
see
numb.
you, EG. I'm gonna do a little bit of stretch here. So yeah, we're not doing a terribly long run tonight. We've got
I can barely walk with this much gear.
short stream. I have to work on something after this, and then I'll have to be up early to finish it. So I was working on it earlier this evening, trying to get some progress down. I made a lot of notes and wrote down I'm giving a talk tomorrow, so I have to finish my notes for that. And then I also need to start working on preparing my presentations for the class that I'm teaching in a couple weeks. So I should budget more time for that. And I still need to finish my letter for applying for this writer in residence role that I'm interested in. Yeah, this is not good. Okay, so big stretch. Ba 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 ba. There you go. 35. Let's go ahead and craft some more.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oh, where'd you find that roller? These sell chicken. Oops. Oh, this is good. How much firewood we have? We're still good.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Can we make anything else? Nope. What forge? Can we make forge? Nope. 5 arrowheads, but no more shafts. 15 arrows. That's a good amount.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
A great idea for an updated roll with it? To do what? Do you have a suggestion for how to make it more interesting? This is out of flour, so can't really work with that.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Since inevitably you'll end up running afoul of the cougar. Every cougar kill gets you 1 reroll. That's interesting. Oh, I guess that's the part I'm dreading, is dealing with the cougar. I have yet to have a face-to-face with the cougar. No, why do we do that? Oh, it's too late. Guess we could head all the way to... Yeah, we could go to camp office again. No, yeah, I don't want to. I'm happy to admit my lack of confidence with hunting the cougar. This trip is really just to check and see if we left anything at the camp office. Like, I'm really hoping we left some guts. That would be very helpful. But honestly, I can't remember what we left. I didn't take any notes. I don't think I did. I think I turned off the trader on this run. I mean, I never use them, so. But it's true, yeah. Well, our goal is to get to Timberwolf Mountain to the summit and loot the summit and hopefully get a firestriker there. No, I've had a couple runs where I got far enough that the trader was active and I talked to him on the radio. But I think I even set up to do one of the, fulfill one of the missions. I just never got around to doing the mission. I just don't want to haul around those batteries. I hear that's a. So tomorrow night, I also have a playing in a new campaign that someone else is going to run. So I got a new D&D adventure. Yeah.
I'll rest suit. I'm gonna faint.
Ooh.
Gotta warm up somehow.
Are the wolfskin hat and pants worth it? Or is it just kind of a cool looking option? Ooh. Oh, really? Hmm. Perhaps it's worth it.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay, do we leave anything? That's a no. Okay. There's snow plants.
I could eat a horse. Let's stay in a lot
Good.
because I love horses. I could eat anything.
Okay. No guts, nothing left behind.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, I think that's our best bet, is to go to
Where can I find something to eat?
the cave up there. But it does mean that we're going to have to trim down a little bit before we go. Too heavy. Hey, welcome in,
Not sure I can
Nemesis.
carry much more.
Welcome in, Raiders. Let's see, what were you playing? Quern, Undying Thoughts. It's going. We're
It makes my mouth.
right now. Day 30 of Matchless. So, if you're new, our challenge is basically to survive as long as we can in Interloper without ever using matches. We can only start fires with flares, mag lens, or a firestriker. And so far we have a mag lens and we have one flare left. And we have not made it to Wolf Mountain to find our firestriker. Our problem is we don't want to use the flare, so that means we have to use the firestriker. I mean, use the maglines. The weather is definitely not maglines weather. The wolves wandering around out there. Okay, I think we just realized something else we could do. So we're going to do this. Okay. Ooh. EG requested a poem. Oh yeah, we're gonna read a poem at EG's request. Let us see what we're gonna do here, poem wise. Kind of heavy for today. Well, that's a good idea. Do I want my father waking for work? Do you have a specific request, EG, or Nemesis, whose rate it is? I think I know Nemesis' probable preference, but do you have a specific reference request? No. Yeah, we'll do another letters poem. Oh, you know what we should do? We should do the original letter poem. Let's see. Let me pull that up. Not that one. Where'd it go? Okay, we'll try. Where was that? See, I've been saying I really need to spend some time like reorganizing my folders of poems. Okay, here we go. Found it. So this is a poem that was the start of the series, although the series ended up evolving into a different type of poem. This is the first letter to the unknown wife poem that I wrote. And this is after a famous poem by Turkish poet Nazim Hikmet, who wrote a poem called Things I Didn't Know I Loved, which is told as like he's recounting all the things he's thinking about as he travels by train after being released from being in political prison for a long period of time. And it's just kind of a poem that kind of discusses all the things that we take for granted until they're completely gone. Like simple, beautiful things in the natural world, in the human world. Just things that we just don't even think about. So that's kind of where the idea for Letter to the Unknown Wife began. Anyways, the poem, let's see, reads, Letter to the Unknown Wife. When I was driving home this afternoon, and the hour was already late, the street lamps flickering to life, I watched the sky burn, colored with autumn. It was as if all the trees in the world contributed to the clouds. It was warm. I never knew the sky could burn like that. I wanted to call you and say, open your window and look at the sun, which is so much like my heart, blazing and sinking all at once. There are moments like this, love, when I feel I might live forever, or at least know by what name I should call you. And so the thing about this poem is that it ended up becoming, it was one of the pieces that I ended up using in a class called Writer and Composer that I took as part of my PhD, in which we were paired up with different composers. These were all people in the graduate music composition program. And so one of the composers fell in love with this poem and insisted that he set this to music. And so he did it as one of his projects. And he liked it so much that he created two versions of it. He created a version of it where it is where there's an actual soloist singing, the lines. And then he also created a version where he replaced the soloist voice with a horn. And that version I love. I absolutely love. I think that's like a really gorgeous version. Let's see if I can pull up. It is. Find the version, the instrumental version. So the composer's name is Jeffrey Parola. He's a good friend of mine, and thanks to this experience, he became a really, really good composer friend of mine. I would say next to Juhi Bansal, who is my primary composer, the person who I've most enjoyed working with was Jeffrey. So anyways, I'll give you the link in case you want to listen to this on your own. Yeah, I'll give you a little taste of what it sounds like. It's 4.5 minutes long. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but you can get a feel for it. So this is the instrumental version of it. Okay, so that's a couple minutes into it. I'm not going to force you to listen to the whole thing here, but you're welcome to check out the link if you want to. Jeffrey also went as far as to find all these images of sunsets and like use that as part of the slideshow of sort of the video. So the music is his music. He adds he replicated sort of the line breaks, and so you can see the lines pop up, and you can see the poem kind of transpire, and then it has all these images as well. It's really beautifully done. It's not like super fancy, but it's actually elegantly put together. And then I think you want to hear like an excerpt of someone actually singing it. There's this one. Okay. So yeah, so it's very cool sometimes when you get to hear something that you wrote turn into another type of art. So in my case, to be able to see it transformed into music, and not only as a vocal performance, but to also hear it as an instrumental, and also to really like the nice thing about the instrumental version are all the images that kind of really bring to life, what's in the poem already. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay, so we've lightened our load. Question is, are we doing this run right now, or are we going to wait? What else don't we need? Do we need 42 of these? Do we have a container? We have a container over
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
here. Okay, that's 33. Got all these extra. Most likely not going to need that. This. Yeah, all I can hear right now is wind outside. Not good. Wolves. Do we hold on for another hour and see if we can get... Nope. Back to blizzard time. Not looking good. But I really don't want to use our last flare here. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think that would be really fun if we could custom design, like, levels. And if we had a little, even more fine control over some of the settings. Okay, we are officially going to bed. I think that'll probably be the same thing for me too. I know this is a little shorter than our usual stream. Usually we go for about 2 hours, but tonight we started late and I have to be up early, so we're going to pack it in soon. You'd put a Timberwolf pack inside the cave. You're a monster. A bear would be good. A bear and my firewall technique might still work.
Anything right about now.
Oh, we left the lantern downstairs. Yeah, I know. He chose some really great images. Very evocative.
I need to find food.
Okay, I'm at Feverus.
Damn it. I'm so hungry.
Okay. Grab some cloth. Yeah, I'm going to head off to bed too. Ooh. Okay, so what are we at right now? We are on day 31. It's not too bad. We did about 3 days here. Okay, day 31, and we will pick up again. Most likely it's going to be Tuesday by the time I get back, so yeah, continue our adventure. We will probably wrap up the challenge on day 50. Usually I do up to 50 days, unless I'm doing roll with it or something else that has a really long build-up time. Yeah, let's do one more poem, I think. Wrap up with one last poem. Or do we want to do something? We've been doing a lot of like from the archive of like unpublished early work that has like some element that might actually be salvageable. We've been doing a little bit of those. Okay, let's pull something. This one, maybe? Hard to say what we're going to read. Okay, we're going to go really old. We're going to go with something I wrote after I got back from 2 years in Taiwan, and I had a really radical change of approach in how I was writing poetry. Okay, this is entitled Funeral. July sun burning, and we are slow pilgrims moving towards the great temple, weaving through these summer-suited strangers thick with grief and apology, and not knowing this young man dead, wasted with cancer at 35 years, and somehow it is different when it is my uncle. Fading as I sit in the fourth row, I can sense the white flowers growing as I pin on my own. We are a silent massing of humanity, collected from all quarters of my uncle's life, and I am the stranger when the monk rises, reading Buddhist prayers, till the brass band plays, and we honor the dead. So this one was inspired by, like, I spent 2 years in Taiwan as a missionary for my church, and which basically meant I spent 2 years speaking Mandarin Chinese and talking to people, having discussions about the things that mattered most to them, what they saw as the purpose of their lives, where do we find joy, and and thinking about family in an eternal perspective. So these type of things, and a lot of the people I talked to were Buddhist. But the poem is really about my uncle. So this is one of my mother's younger sisters, worked in tech as she and her husband were both, multilingual, very proficient in English, and wrote textbooks for the tech industry. and were really, really gifted. And they also traveled a lot. And so my uncle and aunt went to England. And while they were in England on vacation, my uncle became very ill. And when he went to the doctor, the doctors ran the test and they said, "You have late stage liver cancer and will probably only have a few weeks left." And so they came back to Taiwan. He ended up living, another 4 or 5 weeks. And I had a chance to go and visit him a couple times. And then at the funeral, his brother. So his mother was very devout Buddhist, even though he himself was Christian. And his brother was a ordained Buddhist monk. So they insisted on having an extremely traditional Buddhist funeral. And so there I was amidst all this very Buddhist funeral there, as in my missionary attire with the white shirt and tie and the little name tag, and my missionary companion sitting next to me. And so on one hand, I felt very much out of place until it came to the moment where we stood and, honored the dead. And then somehow everything collapses and those barriers, those differences disappear. And you're just part of a group of people who are mourning the loss of someone who's been family. So I think that was, for me, one of those moments when, like, all these labels kind of disappear and you find the common experience, whether it's grief or joy, that suddenly ties you back in.